Hi, my love. This is going to be your spirit guide session. So I was thinking of what decks I wanted to use for your specific session, and I really feel called to pull from the silver Bohemian Gothic Silver Edition, and I'm also going to pull from the Moonology cards for you. And sorry, I pulled some decks for another client reading that I'm going to do after this one. And then I'm also going to pull from, where's this one? The Mystical Shaman Oracle for you. So kind of like, where should I put these? I'll put these over here. So they're not in the way. Kind of like a nice, interesting collection of decks. I also have the Rider-Waite here just in case I need to pull some clarifying cards. And the Oracle of Oddities, which I think I probably will end up pulling from, but I haven't decided yet. So we'll keep that there. Spirit guide sessions. I'm going to have my little whale crystal here. Whales are my spirit guides. They're my spirit animals. So I want them present today with me. I feel like you are just on another level. You are, how do I say this? Like, spiritually wise, you have, I keep seeing like a starburst, okay? So when I was focusing on your energy, I kept thinking, or I heard starburst, but when I hear starburst, I see like a burst of light like that, right? And that's exactly what I feel is very symbolic for your spiritual journey right now. It's like this light illuminated within you. I feel like you've had the aha moment. I'm going to keep the guidebook out just in case I need it for the card, because these cards are so deep when it comes to their meanings. And I think that you would really appreciate that. But I don't know. I get this vibe from you that you're just on another level and you are continuously going to be expanding. This isn't the end of it. There's going to be more. I feel like it's just literally you are at the very, very beginning of this whole new aha moment. Okay. The healing process, I feel like when I'm tapping into your energy, I feel like it's nervousness. I feel hesitation. Your guides are all standing behind you. They have their hands crossed on their chest, like they're like this, right? They are protectors, but they are observing you going through what you're going through because they know you are capable of handling it. It's almost like they've gotten you this far and now they're letting you, like they pushed you this far, right? And then now they're sitting back to allow you to go through the experience. And they're simply there as your bodyguard, right? They're there to watch you as you make the next level of your journey. So that's like the stance that I see from your guides, which is why I feel called to ask my guides to come forward, because your guides are it's almost like they're here, but they're busy watching you, that they don't want to divert their energy or their time to talk to me. Does that make sense? So I'm going to ask my guides to come forward to kind of be the middleman, to relay messages that come through with the cards, okay? Okay, so I just heard you're in the zone, be in the zone. Oh, I love it, the Hunter. You're in the zone, be in the zone. So I'm going to register this to say, with the Hunter card coming up, it's almost like saying your guides want you to remain focused. They're asking you to be focused and don't allow yourself to be distracted. And I feel like this distraction isn't things. I think it's certain people. Okay. I feel like certain people in your life certain people maybe that you are going through this healing process of are acting as distractions to you. And I feel like because like when the pulling the hunter card makes me think of when an animal is hunting their prey, they are 100% focused, they are zoned in, and that's all that they are looking at. So let's look at, just for the sake of it, let's look at the hunter card. Let's see what the card has to say with the guidebook, because I just gave you my own interpretation of it, but let's see what the guidebook says. Okay, so this says the essence: before the dawn of agriculture, we hunted in the forest to feed our kin. The hunter never takes more than what the village needs to survive, often taking only one creature, the good kill. He's a master tracker who knows which path to follow to find success. And then the invitation: rely on your own skill to traverse the thick forest you are in to search or to reach your destination. So basically it's like kind of saying like remain focused to hit the destination point. You need to follow the tracks left by spirit to claim your bounty, which is already prepared and being offered to you. So spirit has brought you this far, but like I said, like I was seeing them holding back, they're standing back. They need you to take the next few steps on your own. Do not follow the map drawn by others, as they will not lead you the true. Instead, become the map maker. Find your internal compass and use all your senses, including your common sense. That is so crazy. So don't use the map of other people. Don't fall in other people's footsteps. Do not take a path that someone else did just because they're telling you, maybe someone's giving you advice or someone's been telling you to do something a certain way. Do not fall in someone else's footsteps. You need to create your own way. And that's probably why I was seeing your guides with their arms crossed. They, as much as guides want to guide us, which is why they're called spirit guides, they're to guide us through our life, and they kind of push us into the right direction if they notice that we are veering off course. But your guides are standing back, and it's almost like they have so much trust in you that you are going to take the right steps to get you to where you need to be. And so they're letting you go through this journey on your own, typically. So it's kind of like that message kind of rings true for you. So one of your spirit messages is right now, you're in hunting season. So you are the hunter. You are hunting for your forgiveness, for your ability to heal, for your ability to move on from something or somebody or some experience. And you are creating your own path. So maybe as a child growing up, perhaps you are used to following in other people's footsteps, or you were expected to walk a certain path and be a certain way and grow up to be a certain mindset. And you're now venturing off into your own reality because you are, forming your own way based on your experiences right now and what feels more natural to you. So I feel like the hunter is like, you are aggressive right now in a good way. You are aggressively hunting your life, instead of being hunted, instead of being the prey, which I feel like as a child you most likely were in the position of a prey, you are now the hunter. So that's really, I'm sure you're thinking of other things in your mind right now. If you have a journal and a pen, I would write some notes on what pops up when you see the hunter card, because I feel like this is a direct message from your spirit guides. This is showing where you're at right now in your life. So that's really nice. And that's just one card. That is just one card. So let's pull some tarot. I gotta say the Hierophant card popped out to me, so I might have to go dig and pull them out because that one I felt like I was supposed to show it to you. But let's just see what happens. Okay, so we have the King of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. King of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. Mom and dad, okay? Mom and dad energy. That's the first thing that's popping up in my mind. Not sure what your relationship is like with mom or dad. Not sure if there is much of a relationship with either or both. Let me close this. I need this to be a little bit, just a little bit darker. Not sure what your relationship is like with both parents, but I'm feeling like, the Three of Pentacles being caught in the middle of the two court cards is really making me feel like, you're building something or you're rebuilding, okay? So I feel like as a child growing up, there was a parental dynamic that maybe you thought was the norm. And I feel like you're growing out of that, and you have since grown out of it, and you are now realizing that what you thought was normal for you as a child is actually not, or it was actually maybe not healthy, okay? I feel like there was a lot of tendencies for control. I feel like maybe the father figure was more absent, okay, or non-existent, as the fact that his face, this is an intuitive assumption here, but the card, the King of Pentacles, his face is actually not present. So that makes me feel intuitively that father was not present in your life much. The Queen of Swords. So a Queen of Swords is a very controlling figure. If we're looking at her as a mama figure, she could be somebody who is very like a dictator. You know, she's always telling you what to do or telling you how you should be or this and that. She's very strong verbal wise, okay? And so a Queen of Swords can have their positive attributes. You know, they're very independent women, or they're very like, they take control and they speak their truth and whatnot. But if you look at it in a reversal, and in my intuition, I'm feeling this is a reversed. I feel like mom energy was very controlling and overbearing at times. I feel like mom made you feel, maybe as a child, that you had to deal with adult situations when you shouldn't have had to at that age. You know, maybe mom put a lot of pressure, a lot of her own stresses onto you as a child, where as a child you shouldn't have to be worrying about financial matters or, you know, just situations that children shouldn't necessarily worry about at that age. So I feel like that was a lot of what was happening. And then with the Three of Pentacles popping up is in the middle of the two. Three of Pentacles is a card of rebuilding, a card of recreating. So I feel like what's happening here is you are rebuilding and recreating a new path for yourself. Maybe you are walking on the line of forgiveness with the parental figures. Maybe if you're not in connection with the father, perhaps you are creating your own acts of forgiveness, even though he's not present. That the same thing with mom. You know, that's what I'm kind of seeing with that too. Or if you haven't started that, but maybe you've been thinking about it, let this be a sign for you that that's what's in the cards. That's what's showing up for you to do, you know, possibly get yourself, you know, involved with when you feel right, when you feel comfortable. Okay, I'm going to pull these three cards, because these guys want to come out. So, yeah, the Star card, the Ace of Swords, and the Three of Swords. Lot of pain, a lot of regret, and a lot of like guilt harboring. And it's all verbal. It's verbal and mental stuff, okay, with the swords. And the Queen of Swords, it's verbal and mental. And so I feel like what happened is there was just a lot of verbal abuse, mental abuse. Maybe you went through a lot of things with your mind that you just couldn't wrap your head around it. The Three of Swords is a lot of regrets and pain. It's a lot of heartache. It's a lot of just negative vibes. You were broken. It was a broken family, a broken childhood. You were picking up pieces, you were patching up holes, and you were dealing with topics and situations and mindsets and issues as a child that maybe you shouldn't have had to go through. You grew up fast, okay? You grew up fast, my love. And so I feel like maybe that's why, as an adult, your spiritual journey has been, now it's I'm starting to see the ball rolling, but we were going through that patch of feeling apathetic to everything. Remember that? I feel like maybe you were going through that because you had to go through your childhood so quickly, right? You grew up so fast that you kind of hit a wall. You hit a wall, and I feel like, figuratively speaking, you just didn't have the desire or the energy to jump over that wall. It was like, I'm just going to stay put and stay here. This is where I'm comfortable. Star card coming up for you is definitely a symbol of healing. So you are definitely going through a healing process, and you are still going through it. I feel like there's a lot of mom and dad issues that you're healing from. I feel like there's a lot of grudges and regrets that you are healing from. And there's a lot going on there. So we have the void of course moon. This is saying nothing will come of this situation. Now, I feel like lots of stuff is going to come from the healing process, but I feel like when it comes to the parental figures, I feel like nothing is going to really change. I don't know if it's both of them. Something tells me the father figure one isn't going to change, okay? The mother figure, potential. But if she's so caught up in her own ways, she may not ever see it. And so I feel like the void moon is kind of telling you nothing's going to come of this. I'm sorry, I apologize that the card is so like abrupt. But I feel like Spirit is kind of saying, don't spend so much time trying to search for forgiveness or waiting for them to say I'm sorry, or waiting for them to see their errors, or waiting for them to change. Because you can't control someone else to change. You can only control yourself, right? So I feel like the void moon is kind of saying nothing much is going to come out of this. So the parental part, you're not going to experience much action taking place with them. It's mainly coming from your end, okay? That's a very that's a blunt message. But sometimes Spirit has to be blunt with us, or else we won't take it seriously. Hold your vision. The fixed moon is popping up. So hold your vision with the process. So if you don't see action or reaction from certain people that you are healing from, hold the vision. Maintain your focus. And like I said with that Hunter card, remain focused and still go for your end result, right? What you wanted out of this whole thing. And then we have a time to give rather than take. Give rather than take. So giving love, that's what I just heard. Give love, give gratitude, give blessings, wish them well, and move forward. So that message that you sent me within your email, where you feel like your spirit guides are telling you to let go, I feel like they're gently saying, don't spend too much time on this topic of wanting someone to change. You need to be the hunter. You need to stay focused. You need to keep on the hunt. And what you are hunting is your own life. You are hunting your, your spiritual journey, your path, all of the above. So I feel like that's rather amazing. I feel like your spirit guides are very rough. Not in a bad way though. They're very like tough, rough and tough. But they do it as a way to protect you, okay? They're watching over you, and they're basically saying don't waste too much time on people that don't appreciate your energy, okay? Even if these are people you love, or these are parents, they're parental figures or whatever, sometimes they don't deserve all of you. You know what I mean? So before we end this session, I want to pull some cards for you just to see what your main focus should be going forward. Since we kind of identified right now what's happening, let's see what you should focus on going forward. So I just heard cut the deck, so I'm going to cut it. And Spirit says this one. The Sweat Lodge. Ooh. Ooh, this is release. This is toxic. Releasing toxins. So, okay, without looking at the guidebooks, the Sweat Lodge is making me feel intuitively, this is a releasing the toxins. This is a detox, okay? The term detox, health related, because I know you're into the health and fitness and whatnot, this might actually ring a bell for you. Maybe you've been looking up ways that you could do a detox, a physical detox, you know, a food related detox, whatever. Something needs to happen. I feel like this is a moment of maybe doing a day of fasting and being in prayer, you know, connecting with your guides and fasting. Maybe this is a detox, a liquid, a juice detox, or whatever. Something needs to be given up for a short time so that you can learn to, you know, you go through the withdrawal process and you just kind of be in a new state of mind. So the Sweat Lodge is making me feel like that. This is the next step. This is the next move. Once you have allowed yourself to forgive and forget and walk away from the parental stuff, the next step is the Sweat Lodge, which is the process of release, letting go. So you thinking and feeling that your guides were telling you to let go, you were actually on it, okay? You were tapping in and you are on it, because sweating is a form of release. You're releasing toxins. So you're definitely connecting and you're feeling your guides, that's for sure. So the next step, what is the next step show? Ooh. 5 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles. All Pentacle suits, which is earth energy. Groundedness, okay? Earth energy is grounding, creation, life, okay? The 4 and 5 of Pentacles, you may be going through a moment. That 4 of Pentacles, don't take too much. Don't do too much during this time of release, okay? So when you're in a detox, the 4 of Pentacles is keep only the most sacred things close to you and release everything else, okay? This includes certain people. If there's people around you that you just can't, push them away. If it's a temporary pushing them away, or it's a physical, like an actual, I'm shutting the door from you, I don't want you in my life anymore, that too. The 5 of Pentacles, this is going to be a humbling experience, okay? This is when you are releasing, when you are through a detox, you're going to go through the emotions. And a 5 of Pentacles can be problematic. It can show moments of struggle and you feel like the outsider looking in, okay? Wanting to be a part of something. So you're going to go through those emotions, but this is a necessary experience for you, because you're going to be releasing all of these pent-up emotions and all of these like experiences that you've been harboring, and stuff's going to come up that maybe you haven't thought of in years, you know. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles. So obviously the 9 it's a really positive card. It's kind of just saying you being able to come out of this strong, for one, and just be you. It's like, it's almost like you're like, you know, like, okay. You know, like when you go get your jewelry cleaned, your rings or whatever, your diamonds, they're not shiny and then they're all dull, right? Which is, you're going to go through the detox process. And then when you come out of it, when you get your rings, your jewelry, after they've been cleaned, they're sparkly, they're new, they look amazing, they're radiant. That's how I'm seeing the 9 of Pentacles for you. I feel like it's, you just need to go through this detox to assess yourself. And then you're going to feel well put together. You're going to feel radiant and more like yourself. So I feel like the detox is basically to help you symbolically release your family dynamics and all of those people. And then you can literally physically say, okay, I move on from you now. You know what I mean? A time to give rather than take. New moon in Virgo. The same card came up. A time to give rather than take. rather than taking other people's bullshit, taking other people's advice, giving of yourself, giving your love, your insights, rather than taking other people's. I feel like maybe it's almost like saying, speaking your truth rather than taking someone else's. Maybe that is what why that card keeps coming up for you. This is the Oracle of Oddities. I just want to see. We have growth, we have divinity, and we have expand. So definitely in the process of this whole thing, growth, divinity, and expand. Divinity is your connection to the divine, doing what you were meant to be doing. Expanding and growth, obviously you're going to be doing another one up. There is going to be major growth, major advancement. You have to be able to let go of certain things, mind games, belief systems, people, in order to expand and grow. And one of the most hardest things is when you have to release someone you love, or you have to release a family memory, or just sometimes you can't take care of other people. Sometimes you can't be the strong person, you know? I feel like that's the gist of it. I'm just trying to see if anything else is coming through. I feel like that's the gist of it, my love. I feel like this is basically, you're in the process. The next step would be detox. But until you get to the detox position, that whole vibe, you need to address, there's certain mom-dad stuff to address. And you're probably already addressing it. But if you haven't, at least know that this is something that's popping up. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I hope that this reading, gave you something to think about. It gave you something to consider. I wish you all of the best, my love, and all of the healing. The healing process is never easy, but it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be, but I'm telling you, once you go through it and you do it, you will feel so much better. So I send you all of my love, my support. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, my love.